Welcome to the fundamentals. In this topic, we'll be talking about filters and look ahead. Filters enable you to narrow your selection to a specific data group. You can use the standard filters provided, or you can also add new filters. In this demonstration, we're going to be using both. Filters can also be grouped to organize information in categories that share a common attribute, such as enterprise project structure, EPS, work breakdown structure, WBS, code value, and of course, resource. There are 4 categories of filters in PCs. We have the default category, which is available to all users and cannot be deleted or modified. Then we have the global category, which is available to all users. We also have the user-defined, which are the filters that have been created by the users themselves. And finally, we have the layout filters, which can be saved as part of the project layout. In other words, when you apply this filter to any schedule, you can simply save that layout or that particular filter at that point in time as a layout. What that means is that when next you bring in that layout or apply that layout to your schedule, it's going to have that filter in it already. We're going to use this schedule to display and to demonstrate filters. To access your filters, you can go about it in 2 ways. First, you can use the filter tab on the toolbars by simply clicking on filter, and it's going to pull up the filters dialog box for you. The second way is to simply right click on your schedule, and right there you're going to see the filters. Either way, we pull up the filters dialog box for you. Now, these are the categories of filters that we discussed about not too long ago. The first group or the first category is the default filters. Like we said, these are the ones that came with the software. And as I click on each of those filters, you will notice that the delete and modify buttons are inactive. That is simply telling you that these filters cannot be deleted and they cannot be modified. Right below that, we have the next category, which is the global category. This also came with the software when you install it. Although these filters in these categories can be copied and they can also be modified. But I advise my students, and indeed everyone, not to try and modify these filters. Instead of you modifying these filters, why don't you make a copy and paste it, and then you can use the copy that you just pasted to do your modification. Now the next group is the user-defined category. For some of you that have never used filters before, or probably you are new to PCs, you may not have user-defined group because you've not created any so far. But by the time you make a copy of any of these filters and you paste it, it's going to automatically create a user defined for you. And it's going to put that copy that you just pasted under the user defined category. At this moment, let's apply some of the filters that we have in the default category. For example, if I want to display activities that are on the critical path, all I need to do is put a check mark on the box of the critical filter, and I will click on OK or apply. When I click on OK, for instance, all I'll be showing right now are all the activities that are on the critical path. In the same way, if I decide to display or I want to show activities that are just milestones activities, all I need to do is put a check mark on the milestone filter and I'll apply. When I do that, it's simply going to be showing me or displaying all the activities that are milestones. Now, let it be noted that you can apply more than one filter at a time in pieces. For example, if I want to see the activities that are critical and there are also milestones, all I need to do is put a check mark on the critical filter and also a check mark on the milestone filter. Now, my aim is to show activities that satisfy these two conditions. And once I put a check mark on those filters that I want to display, then at the top here, where it says show activities that match, if I want to make sure that those conditions must be met by the activities to be displayed, then I have to select the option that says all selected filters. That means the activities that are going to be displayed shortly must be on the critical path, and they must also be milestone activities. At that point, when I click on apply, you will see that I have very few of those activities that are both on the critical path and that are also milestones. On the other hand, if I want to see activities that is either on the critical path or a milestones, that is, one of these conditions is all that need to be satisfied for that activity to be displayed. The same way, I will make sure that both filters are selected and they are checked. Then on the show activities that matches section, I will pick the second option that says any selected filters. With that, it's going to show activities that satisfy one of these conditions. And when I click on apply, you will notice that, okay, I'll click on OK as well. You will see that a lot of activities are displayed more than the previous one, whereby both conditions have to be met. Now, we're going to go to the section whereby we have the global categories. What we're going to do here is we're going to use the 2 weeks look ahead to show activities that we want to see or that we'll be working on in the next couple of weeks. Like I said earlier, I don't want you to mess with any of these filters or try to modify them. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a copy of this and use our copy for the demonstration. So I will select the 2 weeks look ahead I will click on copy, and right below it, I see the paste button. I will click on that. Now you will notice that it has created a new one under the user defined. From this now, I can use this copy to make my modifications. Now I'll click on modify, and this is what I have. These are simply putting in the parameters that's going to allow you to see activities that fall within the 2 weeks category. At this point, I can decide to change the filter name. From here, I can just name it weeks look ahead filter. Now, all I need to be doing going forward is to come to the last row and make the adjustment to where it says CD plus 2W, and this simply means current date plus 2 weeks, to display the number of weeks ahead that I want to see. For example, let's say I want to see the 2 weeks look ahead. At this point, I don't need to make any change. I'll just click on OK, and then when I click on apply, or I have to first of all make sure I put a check mark on that filter, then I click on apply. Now you can see it's showing just these 3 activities, which is indicating the activities that is going to be happening or that will be worked on in the next 2 weeks. From there on, if I want to see activities that we're going to work on in the next 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 6 weeks, or any number of weeks at all I need to keep on doing is go to the modify and make the adjustment right here. Let's say, for example, I want to see activities that we're going to be working on in the next 6 weeks. I will simply change the number 2 to 6. Then I will click on OK, and when I click on apply, you can see it has added, I think, 2 more activities to the list that we have before. This same filter can be used to show your months look ahead and years look ahead. So I may decide to create another filter specifically for the months look ahead. So what I will do, I will copy this filter, copy the weeks look ahead filter, and I will paste it. Now I have another one. This is the one I'm going to modify for the months look ahead. I will click on the modify button, and of course I will need to change the name so it can be easily identified as the filters that I'm going to be using going forward for months look ahead. Then I will come to the last row. I also make some adjustment. This point in time, let's say I want to see the activities that I'm going to be working on in the next 6 months. All I need to do is replace the W with M, which stands for month, being the first alphabet or the first letter in the word month. At this point, I will click on OK, and I'll make sure I put a check mark on it, and I will apply the filter. As you can see, more activities has been displayed or is being shown as the activities that I'm going to be working on in the next 6 months. These same filters can also be used to display activities that you can work on or that you're going to be working on in the next 1 year or 2 years in a situation whereby the project extends beyond 2 years. So again, I will make a copy of this filter, Then I will paste it. Now this is the one I'm going to use for my year look ahead. I will modify by clicking on the modify button. Then I will also change the name to years look ahead. Then going forward, my adjustment will be on the last row. This time around, let's say I want to see activities that we're going to work on the next one here. I will come here, type 1Y. Y standing for year, which is the first letter in the word year. Then I'll click on OK. And of course, I'll put a check mark on that filter, and then I will apply it. At this point, it's demonstrating or it's displaying all the activities that's going to happen in the next 1 year. I hope this has been very helpful to you. If so, I see you in the next class. Thank you.
Hello, and thank you for being part of this teaching. We hope this video has been very helpful to you. Just a reminder that this is one of the videos in this series, and all the videos are available on this YouTube channel. Please don't forget to give us a thumbs up and leave a comment in the comment section. If you find this video helpful and you're yet to subscribe to our channel, kindly do so by clicking on the subscription button to afford yourself easy access to more videos that are constantly being loaded for the purpose of enhancing your careers. Are you interested in taking the full course for this training? Please visit our website at www.greenlandfoundations.com. You can reach us via email info@greenlandfoundations.com or glandfoundations@gmail.com, as well as communicate with us via phone, text messages, or WhatsApp at area code 281-772-0211. We have live online and remote classes for the following: Primavera P6, Microsoft Project, Microsoft Office Tools, Project Management Professionals, Basic Computer Training, and many more.